Umi walks into the living room, expecting to grab a quick snack. Instead, she finds her neighbor Shouya asleep on the couch. But that's not what makes her freeze. It's the manga in his hands. As she looks closer at the pages, her face turns bright red, and the next second, she screams at the top of her lungs. Shouya immediately wakes up in a panic and hides the book behind his back. But it's already too late. Umi stares at him in disbelief. "Why are you reading adult manga in the living room?" Shouya nervously tries to explain. "Wait, that's not exactly..." He hesitates. "Okay, you're not entirely wrong. But it's just a sample. I was checking it before giving them the approval." Umi slowly realizes what he just said. Wait, that means the person who drew that was... But to understand how we got here, we need to rewind a little. Umi Sayama's life is like a broken record. Every day is the same. She goes to school, comes back home, and sometimes spends the evening reading her favorite manga. She always believed things would stay that way. But one day, everything changes. Her mother suddenly tells her she'll be leaving on a long-term business trip. And while she's gone, Umi will be staying with their neighbors. Umi is completely stunned. Her quiet life has just been turned upside down. And this is the story of Umi and Shouya, and how their lives slowly began to change. The next day, Umi arrives at the Hiroi household. She still can't believe her mother forced her to stay here. After all, she's already 16. She should be able to take care of herself, but as she approaches the door, something makes her stop. The nameplate, Hiroi, and suddenly, memories come rushing back. There was a time when she accidentally locked herself out of her house, and someone helped her. A kind older neighbor who always listened to her. "Shu-chan," she mutters quietly. Apparently he moved back home recently. Back then he was a serious and reliable young man, 8 years older than her. The last time they met, he was leaving for university. And after that, she never heard from him again, which means this will be their first reunion in years. As she reaches for the doorbell, she hesitates. The situation almost feels like something straight out of a manga. Still, she presses it. A voice answers from inside. But it's not Mrs. Hiroi. Umi introduces herself, and the door slowly opens. And the moment she sees him, she freezes. This is Shouya, 24 years old, recently moved back to his parents' house. And honestly, he looks like someone who was just revived from the dead. "Long time no see, you've gotten so big," he says cheerfully. But Umi just stares at him, completely shocked. His dyed hair is faded, his clothes look worn out, his collar is stretched, and for some reason, he's wearing a cat ear headband. The image she had of him shatters instantly. The kind, reliable Shouchan she remembered is gone, and this messy stranger is all that remains. Umi slowly steps back. "Sorry, I think I got the wrong house." Later that day, Mrs. Hiroi finally returns home. She apologizes for making Umi wait before turning to Shouya. She tells him he should have tried to look presentable today. Shouya replies that she should give him credit for simply being awake. Meanwhile, Mrs. Hiroi compliments how much Umi has grown. But Umi is still quietly sulking, trying to accept the reality that this is the real Shuchan now. For now, she puts the thought aside and politely says she'll be in their care for a while. Mrs. Hiroi immediately tells her not to worry about formalities. They've known each other for years. If anything bothers her, she should say it right away. As Umi thanks them, Shouya suddenly stares at her. Curiously, Umi notices and immediately steps back. Shouya tilts his head. "Are you being a little distant with me?" Umi doesn't know how to answer. She knows she's being rude, but she honestly doesn't know how to interact with him anymore. He's changed too much. Mrs. Hiroi laughs awkwardly. She explains that it must be shocking to see him like this, but despite how he looks, Shouya is actually a manga artist. Before she can say more, Shouya quickly stops her. Umi looks surprised. "Really?" she asks. Shouya slowly turns toward her, clearly nervous, and then she simply says, "Amazing." Shouya was about to brush it off. But Umi continues. She explains she loves reading manga too, not just the popular ones. She genuinely admires people who can entertain strangers through their stories. Shouya quickly turns his face away, trying to hide his emotions. His father casually points something out. Shouya started crying. Apparently, Umi's words really moved him. After gathering some courage, Shouya glances at her and quietly thanks her. But to Umi, the adult Shouya still feels like a complete stranger. He isn't the boy she remembers, and he definitely isn't the person she imagined he'd become. Over the next few days, Umi begins to observe him, and she learns a few things. Shouya spends most of his time in sweatpants. He rarely leaves the house. He avoids showing his manga to anyone. And most importantly, he's incredibly shy. At dinner one night, his mother asks if he stayed up late again. Shouya explains he was helping an acquaintance finish their manuscript before a deadline. Umi listens with fascination. So this must be what they call crunch time. Shouya suddenly notices her staring. Her gaze is a little too intense. At school the next day, Umi finds herself thinking about his work again. Even though they're living in the same house, she still has no idea what kind of manga he draws. Part of her wonders if she could help him during crunch time, but she quickly dismisses the idea. Shouya clearly doesn't want her involved. Still, she can't help wondering, what kind of story does he write? Is it an action manga, maybe horror, or perhaps a romantic comedy? The thought makes her blush. But honestly, it wouldn't be surprising. After all, the way Shouchan used to smile always made her day brighter. Lost in thought, she hears some boys whispering about her. She glances at them briefly, then ignores them again. I'm sure his story is just as gentle as he is. Later that evening, Umi returns home. Mrs. Hiroi greets her warmly and tells her there are snacks in the living room. But when Umi walks in, she finds Shouya asleep on the couch. He actually looks a little like the old Shouchan when he's sleeping. But then she notices something in his hands, a manga. Curious, she looks closer at the pages. And when she realizes what she's seeing, her eyes widen. Shouya wakes up at that exact moment, and Umi suddenly screams at the top of her lungs. Shouya quickly grabs the book and hides it, but it's already too late. Umi stares at him in disgust. Why are you reading adult manga in the living room? Shouya hurriedly tries to explain. Wait, that's not exactly... He hesitates. Okay, you're not entirely wrong. But it's just a sample. I was checking it before giving them the approval. Umi slowly processes his words. Wait, that means... The person who drew that was